Welcome to the City Current Show, powered by Higginbotham Insurance and Financial Services.
This show focuses on sharing good news and powering the good in our community. Now here's your host, City Current CEO, Jeremy Park.
Welcome back to the City Current Show, powered by Higginbotham. I'm your host, Jeremy Park. We're always honored to bring you inspiring stories of individuals and organizations making a difference, empowering the good. And that's why we're honored to have with us Trina Frierson, CEO and founder of Mending Hearts. How are you doing?
Oh man, Jeremy, I cannot complain. I thank God for everything. It's just a blessing to be in this city right now. Nashville is so inspiring, and the people in it, we're small but yet mighty here in this city. And I'm just grateful to be a part of it. I'm so grateful for Mending Hearts, which is our 501c nonprofit organization that assists homeless indigent women with substance use and mental illness. And so we are one of the largest leading nonprofit organizations for co-occurring women. And, I'm just excited to be on the journey along with my colleagues and team members. And, I think God has given us the best gift is to reach back and help others.
Well, you are a source of inspiration. You and your team do amazing work to power the good. Let's take it back to 2004. Give us a little bit of history of what led you to launch Mending Hearts.
Wow. I tell you what, wow, you went back there, right? I thank God for my past mistakes. I happen to be a woman who was addicted, homeless, found myself in the vicious cycle, in and out of jails with my addiction. And I'm grateful, for the institutions who had programs and services for rehabilitation back then. And I found myself, engaging in one of the programs. And I want to thank those counselors out there that really gave me the motivation to want to change and helping me look at, life in a different perspective. That program is instilled in me to this day. I know several women who were there back with me who are still successful today as a result of that program. But the beauty of that program was it was a long-term program. And I think for me, my belief of long-term recovery support services is the way to go. And so one of the things that happened along the way as I was released from jail, I found out that there was a program for women just like me. And going into that transition of getting into housing with services, I cannot imagine a better handoff coming out of incarceration and going into a transitional program. And today, we call those programs halfway houses, sober living programs, recovery support housing. And so that was the best handoff for me, and getting in there and seeing other people who had lived previous lives as I did, but now they were on a journey to recover. And so for me, it was those women who really paid it forward, who really empowered me and enhanced my recovery along the way, not having a job, food, family support. Those are the things that those people gathered around and wrapped their arms around me and supported me along the way. And so I'm forever grateful for that. But, the truth being told, Jeremy, there were barriers along the way. When you don't have a family to support you, you don't get the care packages you need. You're working for $5 and $7 an hour back then. If your housing fees are $100 and you're only bringing home $115 to $120 a week, how do you budget that? And those are the things that I had to learn along the way. But being a 17-time felon, there were so many doors that closed upon me. But the women would still encourage me. And, I found myself receiving phone calls from other people. And from that, I was able to go to support those women while they were still incarcerated. And while they were still incarcerated, I would go out, I would write these letters to them, and I would tell them where the resources were. And some of the women would send me their indigent envelopes because they know I didn't have money. And I would in turn send them where the resources were. And it became like a domino effect. Then I would find myself going back and speaking to the women who were still incarcerated. And man, it got to where it was really catchy and inspiring. And so women got out, we'd meet up, I show them where the resources were. But one day a light bulb came on and said, you know what, Trina, you need to start a resource center for women who are being released, and they can come to this place and they will find housing, clothes, food, vital records, other needed resources. And you know, I just started jotting it down on a piece of paper. And then I started looking at some of the services that I wasn't getting that we needed. And before you know it, I had written a program, you know, and it just supposed to have been a resource center. And I showed it to one of my buddies, Mike, and he's like, man, you got a whole program. All you're missing is a house. I was like, no, dude, we need money, you know. He was like, read it for yourself, right? And I did, and I could see what he saw. And from there, in this time, you know, I've rekindled relationships, got kids back in my house. We had this one home and we've outgrown it. It's time to move. And my mate at that time said, you know, you need to keep this house for your ministry. And I said, no, we need money. We need donations. Like, listen, you got to trust God. What about we use all the money we don't need to live on so these women can come in here and have a place? And, you know, Jeremy, I said something real crazy. I was like, you know, I just started making legal money and now you want me to give it away? And, you know, she was like, you know, if you take care of God's people, he'll take care of you. And I said, okay, I'm going to try it. If it don't work, I'm going to blame you. Right. And so we had already put out the flyers and fillers about what our mission and vision was. And we got a phone call that a lady needed help. And she had come in from Michigan. And we met the lady, and man, she drove on our heartstring. And from there, man, she ended up staying with us while we were in transition. And she slept on the couch at our house on Phillips Street. And we eventually moved out and she became a house mom. But, you know, this is nothing to really be proud about, but I'm grateful that the women's prison believed in us. You know, as soon as we moved out and set that house up, you know, the women's prison just gave us a flux of calls. And I would go to work in the morning, get off on my lunch break, go pick a woman up from prison. My partner would meet me at the house and I'd hand her off. But I'm literally riding down the street, reading off the house rules and the guidelines, you know, and we did that for probably 6 or 7 months until we could find another way and means of getting women into the program. You know, we started off with that one first woman on the couch and led up to 7 women, and we started renting more houses around the city. And 3 years that we've been in existence, we found a place. A guy showed me a place over in West Nashville, which was a darn near dilapidated building, drug infested. The 4 blocks was infested with drug activity. And, you know, we came through there. And one of the things I think I couldn't see at the time, but I truly believe in God's will. And if you stay in position, he'll present you with some of the best gifts. And so for me, one of those gifts was going over and restoring not only the women's lives and reclaiming their lives, you know, that we served, but he gave us the opportunity to restore and reclaim a whole community that was drug infested. You know, the elderly people were sitting in their homes and couldn't sit, you know, out on their porch and enjoy the sun or the rain. And you had kids on the bus stop with their parents who were strapped with weapons, you know, trying to protect their kids. And today, man, you go over there in this 4-block radius of Mending Hearts, where we have 17 properties in a 4-block radius. You find kids riding skateboards and scooters and bicycles, and the elderly are sitting out and they're out playing, you know, with their plants. And you know, the gentrification is readily available in a community that was so stricken with drug activity and low means of incomes. And so getting to see people live as other people do, and we're right in the heart of it, you know, we're right in the cuffs of the nations. And so, you know, we took that very a friend told me when I was over there, he said, one of the best things he told me when I looked at the building, I said, no, I can't put these women in this community. I'm trying to get women off drugs, not on drugs. And so one of the things he said was, he said, you got to look past the rubbish. It's like, what? Don't look at what it is now, look at what it can be, right? And that's probably one of the most impactful things he could have ever said to me. And I think that's when God pierced my heart and allowed me the ability to go in and make the change, and not the change for Trina, but the change for the community at large. And so while we were helping women, transition to a better way of life, God gave us the ability to take a whole community, man, and empower that community. And so I'm just forever grateful that I've been able to really be a part of something so instrumental. Today we've helped over 7,000 women throughout our journey. We went from 7 women to over helping 7,000 women. We have 110 bed capacity. And, we're just not a transitional or sober living. We are a full continuum of care, meaning we have detox, residential treatment, intensive outpatient, partial hospitalization, a peer program, moms and kids. And whoever thought that, I'm so grateful that I a piece of tangible evidence for other people today, because, where we come from, people have counted us out, and whoever thought, Jeremy, that, a 17-time felon, ex-con, jailer, however you want to call it, would be in position like this to not only restore communities, but other people's life. And now I'm in a place where, I have 40, soon to be 70 staff members that one is a medical doctor. Whoever thought that I had the ability to hire a medical professional to join my team, as well as nurse practitioners, clinicians, therapists, counselors. And, these people are so much smarter than me. But I'm so grateful that God gave me the ability to join hands to bring in team members who had the mission and vision to help other people.
How can the community help Mending Hearts?
I always tell people the best gift is your gift. And your gift, Jeremy, may be that you have a medical background, you're a clinician, a counselor, or something. You may want to bring over bed in a bag, extra large twins, right? Because we are a nonprofit, we know that monetary contributions is always a must. But I love relationships, Darren. I love relationships. And I think that oftentimes relationship is more impactful than the dollar that you may get one time of a year, because your services that you bring within your relationship will take out a whole line item in my budget. And we never imagined that. And so definitely visit our website at mendingheartsinc.org. You can also always call me at 615-668-2260. Our main number is 615-385-1696. But there's just a ton of things that I love for people to come and bring their gifts. One of the shout outs to MBA, who came over for Mother's Day, and man, they catered to our women, and they did a brunch. And these young men, so age is not a matter in factors of service. They brought over the food, and they set the table and the flowers, and they inspired these women. And we got women still talking about that. I've never seen a group of young guys come through and be willing to serve and give back like that. And so we don't want age to, prevent you from your service of giving to the mission of Mending Hearts. But, we're always in need of toiletries, sheets. Bring your friend group over and let's have a lunch. Let's do a nail day. Come out and help us plant flowers. We always need landscaping. There's just so many things that we can't list them all. So I always tell people, our best gift is your gift, and your gift may not be the gift we're looking for.
Talk about
But it
why
is,
this
yeah.
work is so important to the community at large. When you talk about restoring women, reclaiming lives, transforming the community, why is this so important in the larger scheme of transforming Middle Tennessee?
Oh my God, Jeremy, I could think of a million things. But, I always like to say that none of us could be here without the woman, right? Women truly run the world. We all got here through a woman, right? But you think about this, Jeremy. If my mother is ill, and whether she's in addiction or cancer or whatever, that puts a heavy burden on the entire family because she has many faucets, right? Not only does she lead and guide families through their faith, through their ability to be all that they can be, but when you think about when a child comes home from school, 9 times out of 10, they run to mom, right? When the husband comes home from work, he runs to his wife, right? Listen, if anything, doctor visits, it doesn't matter. The woman is carrying the burden. And so I believe if we can provide the vital services to the woman and we can heal the woman and make her healthy, that woman impacts not only her husband and her kids, but her kids' kids. Grandmama is another ruler of the world. And so we always have to look, how can we ignite the woman? And I think when we inspire and ignite that woman, she starts to overflow. It becomes an overflow of faith and hope and deliverance to the family. We're in an epidemic right now with opiates, and I don't see it going anywhere because they continue to make different versions of it. Even the hospital brands of pharmaceutical prescriptions, when you purchase those things on the street, they look identical. And so I don't think that we're getting away from it no time soon. And so how do we help as a community at large? One is, I think you have to start talking around the table with families about, when your child comes home from school, don't ask them, hey, how was your day? Hey, what happened in your life today? We got to be more specific, opposed to the surface stuff, right? If Johnny got hurt in the basketball game and, hey, he's acting a little funny, is he taking too many prescriptions? But Johnny's my best friend, and now my head is hurting. Do I take that pill from Johnny? These are conversations that we got to go back to the dining room table and talk about. And I don't think, because in our day and time, we're on electronic games, we're on electronic phones, and we're Uber eating. You think about how many kids today have their own Uber Eats account and their parents are just loading money in it, right? Well, what have we done here? We've broken the cycle of unity. We've broken it. And so I think we got to join the reunification of bringing families back to the table, talking about real life issues, and drugs happen to be at the top of the table today.
Well, and I'm glad you alluded to with taking care of the women who really are the whole nucleus for the family and for the community. And so wrap up, you mentioned it before, but wrap up with website, social media, phone number. Where do we go to learn more and get involved with Mending Hearts?
Yes. Again, please join us. Follow us on Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, www.mendingheartsinc.org. Send us a like. We'll follow you. You follow us. And please don't ever hesitate not to come out and visit. I always believe that, I'm a great storyteller because I'm passionate about the mission of Mending Hearts. I live it, breathe it, eat it. It's me, right? But I also challenge you, don't believe what I say. Come and see the magic. It's real and it's happening at Mending Hearts.
Well, Trina, you are a change maker, a source of inspiration for sure. Thank you for all you and your amazing team do to power the good. Thank you for coming on the show.
Oh, we thank you guys for all you do at City Current. We love you. Thank you.
Higginbotham Insurance and Financial Services is proud to power the City Current Show. We're a people-first company that protects what matters most, the families, businesses, and trailblazers that keep our community going. As one of the nation's top independent insurance firms, Higginbotham is a single-source solution for business insurance, employee benefits, HR services, and personal insurance that's customized for you. We're here to serve you, the people you care about, and your community. Call 866-377-1959 or visit higginbotham.com.